Hey there, car lovers and green enthusiasts. Today, we're taking a closer look at electric vehicles, or EVs. Buckle up, because we've got some surprising news to share. Remember when everyone was talking about EVs, they were the next big thing? Car companies were making huge promises about going all electric. But now, it looks like they're tapping the brakes a bit. Let's break it down and see what's really going on. Let's start with Ford, the big American car maker. A few years ago, they had big dreams. They said, by 2026, every Ford will have an electric version. Sounds great, right? But now, they're changing their tune a bit. Ford's doing something interesting. They're not giving up on EVs, but they're spreading their bets. They've cut $12 billion from their EV budget. But here's the kicker. They're not just putting that money back in their pocket. They're using it to make more hybrid cars and even improve their gas-powered vehicles. It's like they're saying, hey, we like EVs, but we're not putting all our eggs in one basket. If you're finding this EV talk electrifying, why not give our channel a boost? Hit that subscribe button and join our community of car enthusiasts. Now, let's zoom over to Germany. Mercedes-Benz, the fancy car brand, is also pumping the brakes a bit. They once said half their sales would be electric by 2025. Now, they're aiming for 2030, and they're being a bit cagey about it. They're saying it depends on market conditions. In plain English, that means if people aren't buying enough EVs, they might change their plans again. Volkswagen, another big German car maker, is having second thoughts too. They were going to build 6 big battery factories by 2030. Now, they're thinking maybe 3 is enough. It's like they're saying, let's wait and see how many people actually want these EVs before we go all in. And what about Volvo? They're the ones who said they'd be all electric by 2030. Well, they're finding out it's not as easy as they thought. They've got some cool new EVs, but they're having trouble getting them to customers. Their small EX30 car? It's stuck in China because of trade rules. And their big fancy EX90 SUV? It's late because the computer stuff inside isn't working right. Volvo's boss still says they'll hit their 2030 goal, but they're keeping their hybrid cars around just in case. So, why is all this happening? Well, it's like throwing a party and not everyone shows up. Car companies thought we'd all be lining up to buy EVs by now. But it turns out, we're not as quick to jump on the electric bandwagon as they hoped. Don't get me wrong, EV sales are growing. Ford saw their EV sales go up by 61% in just 3 months. Used EV sales went up by 25%. But then you've got Mercedes-Benz, whose EV sales actually went down by 25%. It's a real mixed bag. In the US, EV sales went up by 11% in the middle of 2024 compared to the year before. That's pretty good. But it's not the massive boom car companies were betting on. One big reason for the slowdown? Money. EVs are still more expensive than regular cars. Car companies thought the cost of batteries would go way down as they made more EVs. But that hasn't really happened. It's like waiting for a sale that never quite arrives. And let's talk about charging stations. In the US, finding a place to charge your EV can be tricky. It's enough to make anyone worry about running out of power on a long trip. So, what does all this mean for the future of EVs? Are they doomed? Not at all. It's more like we're adjusting our expectations. The road to an all-electric future might be longer and windier than we thought. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. At first, you might wobble and fall. But with time and practice, you get better. That's where we are with EVs. We're still in the training wheels phase, but we're getting there. Car companies are learning too. They're realizing that change takes time. It's not just about building cool electric cars. It's about winning our trust and making sure the world is ready for them. The good news? This slowdown might actually be a good thing. It gives everyone a chance to catch up. Car companies can make their EVs better. Cities can build more charging stations. And we, the buyers, can get used to the idea of plugging in our cars instead of filling them up. In the end, the EV revolution is still happening. It's just moving at a more realistic pace. And isn't that better? After all, slow and steady wins the race, right? So, what do you think? Are you ready to go electric? Or are you happy sticking with good old gasoline for now? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you've made it this far, you're clearly interested in the future of cars. So why not subscribe? We'll be talking about all things automotive, from the latest tech to the coolest designs. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Until next time, keep your engines running and your minds open. The future of driving is coming, even if it's taking a bit longer than we thought. See you on the road.